The red light is on, and we are running a tad bit late, but it is okay. It's because tonight we are just a few days away from the 2024 Royal Rumble. Tonight is supposed to be a preview show, but guess what? WWE decided to rock the professional wrestling world with so much happening this week, including a deal with Netflix in 2025, upwards of $5 billion, 10 years. Seth Rollins wrestling with a Tony MCL, so much more to go, and not to mention season 2 of Championship Culture has premiered. All that and more right after this. We got a lot to get into, and we're running late, but guess what? We about to make this happen because we know that you are dying to hear what we have to say about everything going on right now in the world of professional wrestling. When? Now.
Houston, we have a problem.
Yes! What you gonna do? 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 Oh yeah.
Woo! Yeah, brother. Welcome to the Wrestle Realm Now podcast, where we take a deeper dive into the world of professional wrestling. Now, you can watch all of our Wrestling Realm content anytime on youtube.com/The Wrestling Realm. Follow us on all social media platforms, Instagram, Threads, X, and Facebook at Wrestling Realm. Like, subscribe, and engage in the conversation with us. And you can download all of our audio content on Anchor, Stitcher, Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Google Podcasts. Watch us anytime and subscribe to our Twitch channel at The Wrestling Realm. I'm your host, the man, the myth, the legend, the big guy, the realness himself, the real Dwayne Allen. He is your host. Brother Hugh has the third, H to the A to the S, T to the H to the E, 3 to the R to the D in the building, Brother Hugh. And he is the guy, not just the guy, the Belt King himself, Brandon the guy in the building. Championship Culture taking off, rocket ship to the moon. And he is your host, the heart and soul of what we do,
Hollywood!
Brian H. Waters in the building. Welcome, gentlemen. Welcome to the Wrestling Realm Now podcast. And guess what? I'm all about special welcomes. And I'm so welcoming that, guess what? I have an opportunity for you. Because if you would like to advertise with the Wrestling Realm, you can email us at wrestlingrealm@gmail.com with the subject line saying advertising. We will reach out to you for any further details. So if you want to promote your business, promote your show, promote anything that you have coming up, you can do so with us at wrestlingrealm.com, wrestlingrealm@gmail.com, excuse me. And we will definitely hit you back with the rates, so much more. And let's become business partners. Let's do something special in 2024. But listen, maybe you don't want to advertise with us, but guess what? You can support the brand. So if you would like to support the Wrestling Realm for all Wrestling Realm merchandise and apparel, head over to wrestlingrealm.com. That's right. You can shop now at wrestlingrealm.com. T-shirts, hoodies, mugs, and more, just as the graphic says. You can be a proud wrestling fan, or you can just support the brand and embrace your inner DX, inner NWO, inner super realness, coolness all together. Dress as cool as we are and support what we do. Pretty soon, we'll be having some live unboxings going this year. So you can get a up close and personal look at what we have available as far as our merchandise and apparel. But that is at wrestlingrealm.com. So if you want to support the brand, once again, for all Wrestling Realm merchandise and apparel, head over to wrestlingrealm.com. But listen, we still got some business to attend to, because guess what? The Ravens are heading to the AFC Championship game. And guess what? Maybe your team didn't make it, but you want to go and support. Thank you. There's a pause right there. If you want to do so, listen, do yourself a favor. So if you're looking to purchase tickets to concerts, live events, shows, and more, head over to SeatGeek.com, where you can use promo code Wrestling Realm and save yourself $20 on any one-time purchase of $50 or more. If you have used this code already, do yourself a favor and sign up with a different email. And once again, save yourself $20 on any one-time purchase of $50 or more. Because guess what? AFC Championship tickets are through the roof. Well, it's probably going to be no different. But listen, I know the financial aspect of it is always important. So if you want to do yourself a favor, Use our promo code Wrestling Realm. Our part of the SeatGeek have graciously helped us out, and guess what? We want to do the same thing for you. Save yourself $20 any one-time purchase of $50 or more at SeatGeek.com. Once again, that promo code is Wrestling Realm, all one word.
Woohoo. Shout out to those who used it last week too to go
Really?
to the game. Yeah. I got a couple people, you know, they was hitting me up. I could tell that they were already some SeatGeek users, and I said, yeah. I said, hold on real quick, give me a second. Like the code works. I went through, boom, you know, new email address I hadn't used the code for before, so my theory works. So they was able to save $20 and be down there in the freezing cold as the Ravens blew out the Texans on the backs of El Freaky.
Well, congratulations to everybody that used our promo code and saved yourself $20 and or more. Definitely shout out to the Baltimore Ravens as we head into the AFC Championship this Sunday as of this recording. But you know what's it's also interesting as this recording, we have a Patreon channel. That's right. For all exclusive, oops, did it go in? Ah, there it is. For all exclusive shows and bonus material, head over to patreon.com/the_wrestling_realm. That's right. All exclusive bonus material. We're revving up this year. 2024 is going to be a big transition year for the Wrestling Realm, as we always do. We like to grow and move forward. Patreon is going to be one of the major focuses. We want to provide you great content that you're willing to subscribe for. We have multiple tiers, but guess what? You can subscribe for just as low as $1 at the lowest tier. So for all exclusive shows and bonus materials, please head to our Patreon channel and subscribe. Pay the one. Patreon.com/the_wrestling_realm. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is the part, right? This is the part where we talk about championship culture. It's because if you don't know, as of this recording, episode 1 of season 2 of Championship Culture has officially been done. It is officially aired. It has done some wonderful things. And guess what? This is when I talk about my 2 cents. And this is where I talk about what I think. And this is the part where I start to bring out my notes.
I was wondering if you took notes yesterday.
No, it was no need. I was on the show.
Okay,
guess
good.
what? I can talk you to death. But ladies and gentlemen, if you miss how crazy season 2, episode 1 of Championship Culture, listen, let me stop talking you to death.
There you have it. There's your belt that says every belt has a story.
There it is, finally, right?
But you know, I just want to make sure that you see that you can see your reflection in there.
Mm-hmm. I see it.
It's pretty sexy, ain't it?
That mirror back.
And he was just casually throwing it in the trash. Did you see him?
So, ladies and gentlemen, for season 2, not only is there 1, but there are 2 custom titles, and from one end to the other, the C's, which are known for championship culture, in red, the Wrestling Realm Now, which is his flagship podcast on Wednesday. In the center, you have the championship culture logo, which is a slightly different one.
Wow.
When he was virally attacked about his tag team belt, I kind of took it personal, and I've spoke about this on the Wrestling Realm. And I don't want to, season 2, I'm not going to harp on it. It's the last time you're going to hear me talk about this. We have these belts for a reason. Anytime somebody gets a custom belt, it should take them to that moment of wrestling that they're going to remember. That reason that they fell in love with this sport, that wrestler that they fell in love with. Something about that championship belt should make them say, I want this more than I do one of the other ones that's in my collection, or this is my belt for my reason. So because I have this belt, that has nothing to do with your joy. Don't try to steal my joy. So I made 2 totally different belts for 2 totally different people, and I wanted to make sure Hughes reflected him, and I wanted to make sure this one reflected me. So there you have it. Tune in every Tuesday at 8 p.m. on youtube.com/The Wrestling Room. If you want to catch up on season 1 plus a bonus episode, go to youtube.com/The Wrestling Room and playlist Championship Culture. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Championship Culture and then just the underscore at the end. Correct here?
Yes,
Did I get
sir.
it right
There it
this
is.
time?
That's right.
If you got belt questions, interested in getting the custom belt, if you just want to talk about belts, hit us up. One of us will answer. One of us will talk. We love talking about belts, as you can tell.
Yes, we do.
Because you know why? Well, say it here. Hit it for the people.
Every belt has a story.
Remember, every belt has a story. Can't wait to hear yours.
Ladies and gentlemen, Championship Culture is back. Season 2. If you are not familiar with Championship Culture, do yourself a favor and get familiar with The Wrestling Realm Presents Championship Culture. Head over to youtube.com/The Wrestling Realm and check out the playlist Championship Culture to catch up with all of season 1, and including a bonus episode and the first episode of season 2. Oh man, it was a crazy night. I'm grateful and thankful to be a part of it. And we definitely want you to head over, subscribe, get involved, just jump into the mix. But Brother Brandon, Brother Hugh, congratulations. We back for another season. You guys want to give him 2 cents? I know it took the first 3 minutes. I took some liberties. Hope you don't mind. But you want to you got
I was waiting for the paper. I said if he took notes this time on the show he was on, I was gonna die.
It was too much going on. But season 2, you guys want to talk about a little bit about that experience, man? It was a crazy episode. Like I said, I'm glad to have been a part of it. We got one crazy story. We got 2 belt reveals, unreal stuff going on, man. And like I said, it was I had a lot of fun. But you guys want to talk about a little bit about Championship Culture and what people can expect from season 2?
I'll probably serve it up to Brother Brandon if he actually wants to talk about the show. Only thing is,
He hates when you do that, by the way.
I know, that's why I keep doing
Yeah.
it. But I do have a bone to pick with Mr. Brian Waters. Brian
Wait.
Waters,
Time out.
Whoa.
You said you got a bone to pick?
A bone to pick with Mr. Brian H. Waters. Yeah.
We haven't had that in a long time.
I was gonna say he brought it all the way back. That was a
Right.
callback.
Yeah,
why you
man.
had to repeat it.
Mr. Gump McGee, how you doing tonight, bro?
Gump McGee.
Gump
Gump
McGee.
McGee.
Yeah, you know who he is.
Gump
Well,
McGee.
brother, you missed out, man. You were supposed to be there for the shenanigans. There's another part to the story, bro. It's another part to the story.
It's definitely another part of the story.
It's a whole nother part to the story.
Oh,
Brother Brandon,
You want me to talk?
go ahead. You can have it now. Go ahead.
Okay.
You may speak.
Okay.
wow, you giving permission?
Because when I start talking about Championship Culture, sometimes he tell me I'm giving too much stuff away. But I'm gonna tell you this about season 2. Season 2 started off with a bang.
Mhm.
Season 2 is going to continue to bang. It's going to, you know how they do, then, down, and forever, and all of that stuff at the beginning of WWE, and all the awesome video packages and stuff like that they do. And this season, it's going to take you back. It's going to look forward, and it's going to make you always remember certain moments. And as hard as I worked to get Hugh and Dwayne, and they both were turning on each other, didn't even know it. There's a third part to this story that you missed out on. Because what is it here?
Because every belt has a story. Every belt has a story.
Like Cody.
No, we finished their story.
Yeah, we
But
definitely
we was gonna let yours go until day 746. But we said, you know what, we ain't gonna let that go on too long. So, it was only fitting that you missed out on it, but we still figured out a way to still make sure you finish your story. So, in commemoration for the work that you have done, oh, look, there's Taekwon, the work that you have done and the work that you continue to do, this is a gift that was made because you sparked all of the custom belts. So, you get your own on a white strap because you do so much work not only for the wrestling realm but also for who? Can you see it?
Yeah.
So you want to tell the people why you're getting your own, sir? And I'll tell you why it's on a white strap. Do you see this?
Yeah. For the people that's listening on Apple and can't see, he's holding up the white version of those Wrestler Girls title.
So it's kind of like a reverse. You know how with the men's belts, the white has been for women or the white has been for, the secondary strap. It's only fitting since they have a purple strap. We said we're going to get them a white strap because it'll be the exact opposite. And it's a secondary title. So they may have a tag team belt or they might have world belts. So now you got the secondary strap of the Wrestler Girls belt. So it'll probably be in the background for at least 16 weeks because that's how long it takes you to pick up stuff. Or, ladies and gentlemen, if Brian just happens to disappear, he's probably going to knock on my door and be like, give me the belt. And then he's going to pop up and it's going to be in the background in this same show.
I don't take that long.
You took pretty long to come get your shirt. But, yeah, and the thing is, it's actually, theirs was cut for a woman. This is actually cut for a man. So when you see them again and then y'all combine them, you'll be able to see that yours is actually closer to the size for the male strap, and because theirs was closer to the size for the female. So here you go, brother. This is what you missed out on, the shenanigans. And I just hit a wall. I said, it's no convincing. He's at work. So
I was
look, he like, I'm mad I missed out there, aren't you?
Well, it was one of those nights that I was, had an additional card thrown my way.
And you could have had an additional belt thrown your way, but because every belt has a story.
But dude,
Did you know that? Did you know that? Okay.
I walked into that one, didn't I? Like
Yes, you
Braun
did.
Strowman walked into Brock Lesnar's fist at the Royal Rumble that year.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. You could have walked into this belt, but you didn't. It's going to happen all night. And I'm only starting. So you just better be prepared.
You of all people know what happens when you got to work.
Oh, yeah, I know. But when, a brother call you and I'm in distress because I'm trying to figure it out.
Or when he's trying to do a triple turn, he already did a double turn.
And that was a lot of work. If you want to see how this double turn work, I'm still tired from it because I had to make sure I was keeping the story straight with who I told what. Because that's how bad it was. Like, I had a whole scenario planned out for you to get the Wayne, but it was elements of both of them that were matching. I said, all right, I'm a horrible liar. So I'm like, I got to make sure this is actually part truth. Like, it's going to be a belt bag involved. It's going to be belts involved. But how do I get the belt? So this was the other missing piece. But here you go. So whenever you're ready, as you can see, I just want to know, what's your thoughts? Do you?
I mean,
which belt do you? Wait a minute, I'm trying to think. Do you have a white strap belt?
I don't.
Oh,
I
so
got
this?
red.
That's fitting. Yeah,
I got red, burgundy, and black.
Now you have some white. There you go.
I'm gonna just keep doing this for a little bit.
Well, Brian, this is the shenanigan I was referring to when I said you were supposed to be there. What you didn't see was we saw that title after the fact when when all the shenanigans kind of ceased, or at least all the secrets kind of came to the forefront. He goes, well, look, the crazy part is, look, this is what I was trying to get Brian here too, because I was going to give him these. Like, look, this is what the guy sent because trying to keep service and keep business going, and I was like, oh, so you guys tried to get him too. But yeah, shout out to brother Brandon, shout out to brother Hugh, congratulations. If you want to go back and watch that show, Finishing the Story, Championship Culture, episode 1, season 2. Once again, head over to youtube.com/the wrestling realm playlist, Championship Culture. And guess what? If you want to see what the double turn looks like, bam. See that face? That's the face. At that moment, I knew, I got. This is a double turn. At that point, came out of the bag. I said, oh, come on, bro. This is not what we talked about. That was genuine
When
surprise.
you said, oh, is this a oh
And
that
if
one part needs to just be clipped off and made into something. Where's Dylan when we need him? That one
he's
part
not
needs to
here
be
yet,
clipped
thank
off.
God, because trust me, it would have been.
He said,
But if you want to catch up on that episode and more, like I said, hell with it, and get a better look at the championship culture championship belts, they will be weird. Brother, he's been working really, really hard as far as getting the media together and graphics together, and they will be posted on the Wrestling Realm social media accounts as well as Championship Culture's Instagram that just is up and running now. Like I said, man, we're like WWE right now, man. We're going to this global expansion because expansion is the name of the goddamn game, brothers. A lot has happened, and we need to start this goddamn show. We got through all the pleasantries, we got through all the things. We introduced championship culture to the world once again as season 2 takes its place. Let me look in the background and make sure Brandon don't have any more extra belts. Okay,
Right.
I'm
I,
looking.
I promise you, it's not.
No, I'm not listening to you.
Yeah, he
I'm
got
not-
436.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I promise you, it's not.
Brian
not.
H.
There are custom
we
belts
are
being
not
made.
getting
That's
that.
not for me. There.
The bell has rung. And guess what? We are going
No,
to
it's
start
like really where I cut that sound is on a delay. Like,
Yeah.
So it's like a gap. So it wasn't me trying to cut you off, Brandon. I had to like anticipate and then you talk.
We are going to start the show as we always do with our famous segment. Is what did you watch? Every week we start the show with talking about what we watched this week. I know we watch our regular programming, but we like to watch other things to keep our minds and our hearts fresh. So when we come together as this Super Voltron super group, we our minds in the right place to have these type of discussions. We revisit things of the past, we watch the things of the present, and we make sure that we're up to speed with things. So, good brothers, as we always ask, what did you watch?
I had to
Brian
take
H.
notes.
I dealt with these championship culture guys yesterday in their shenanigans. I'm going to you first, brother. What
Well,
did you
look,
watch this week?
I be god daggone. I'm gonna tell y'all something.
Mhm.
WWE really think they slick.
Uh-oh.
They really think they slick. They know what
Tell Brian
yesterday was, and they went out and Triple H and Nick Khan went out and grabbed the biggest shovel that they could, and they piled on this great anniversary date. So god dang it, this is the first time I tell you what I watched, and Dylan Matthews said it right there. I watched some Hulk Hogan matches.
I'm about to go to the
Because
bathroom.
it's the 40th anniversary, and I didn't get much the chance to talk about Hulk Hogan because everything got to be about Nick Khan and The Rock and all that. We'll get there, but we're gonna celebrate the greatness of Hulkamania. And so, shout out to my guy Jonathan Bartlett who designed this incredible WrestleMania 9 poster that we'll be getting off of WWE Shop. And I watched Hogan beat the Iron Sheik.
You
And
took
watched
it back.
Yeah, I had to watch that, because I did this video. Let's be real. I'm not stupid. I know how to play things, I know how to celebrate without celebrating, but celebrating. So
Okay.
I went in a different direction for the ringer, and I did putting Iron Sheik over as the most important transitional champion because Hogan beating Backlund just wouldn't have made sense in 1984.
Yeah, especially the white meat baby face like him. It doesn't get more white meat baby face than Bob Backlund.
Talk about it.
Coming on
And then you
3-year plus reign.
Yeah, and you got
Yeah.
the big man. You can't have him beat the little man and be the dominant force of Hulk Hogan. So you had to beat the nasty heel, the evil heel, because you couldn't put America against America. You put him against, So I watched that. Right now, I have on the real Dwayne Allen's favorite Royal Rumble.
98.
You know it, and it is approaching the main event where Shawn Michaels will take on The Undertaker, which is so interesting because this made me realize that 2 times Shawn Michaels was in the main event of the Royal Rumble. The Royal Rumble match didn't close the show because, I guess back-to-back years, he was just that over. Kind of like our tribal chief. So that's what I've been watching as getting ready for the Royal Rumble, which is this Saturday.
This Saturday. I can't wait to talk about it. Wow. There we go. That's classic. You haven't done that pose in a minute, good brother.
Well, I threw on the Hollywood shirt because I had on the other shirt yesterday, even though I ain't do no on camera. The one that my god brother got me. So that was yesterday. So this one was my Christmas gift. So yeah. Had to throw this one on.
It seems fitting.
Are we done talking about Hogan?
Listen,
No,
I
because I
kinda
see a
like
lot of red and yellow in your background.
Brian. They definitely had on red and yellow yesterday, looking like maniacs. I don't know if they noticed it, but I was like, maybe I don't know. They look like twins. If Hugh didn't have a hat on, I didn't know who was who.
Shout out to the Roman Mania, baby.
Oh, boy.
But yeah, no, Royal Rumble '98 is my favorite. That Shawn Michaels Undertaker match, one of my favorites. Until I got older and found out that's what broke his back, but it's okay. Still a great match.
It was, that's how good he was, though.
No, he literally got up, finished the match, didn't feel anything to a day later. And you look at the time period of that part of '98 and where the business was. I guess it makes sense for them to close the show because like your biggest stars kind of weren't in the Royal Rumble. They were like literally closing the show. It didn't get any bigger during that moment of it than Shawn Michaels and the Undertaker. So yeah, but Brother Hugh, what did you get into this week, man? You guys had a crazy busy week.
Because I was watching.
I honestly didn't get a chance to really jump into anything because I was producing a beautiful show that happened last night.
It felt good to do this.
Keep your feet up.
And
just enjoy it.
With my cup of coffee, put y'all on the playlist, put y'all on and send y'all video to the group chats and say y'all gotta check out Championship Culture.
I do have something for y'all though. I've been holding on for this for a while. I got some exclusive content for you.
Holy cow! Wow.
Man, I couldn't. We had to.
He finally met him.
Me and my man, and then double in. We had to pay some people off, to keep this under wraps. But a couple weeks ago we chilled out. We went to Japan. We watched this match, and we saw this beautiful white strap belt come out, and I was like, hey, I still call him Ziggy. I said, Ziggy, go get that white strap. And hey, he went out there and did his thing. I would have helped jump him, but for personal reasons, I couldn't. I had to,
No, yeah, you got to keep your health first.
Yeah, health first, and I gotta remain, professional. So
no,
that's a sexy belt,
He looked like he handled himself.
I did. See?
No, that's smooth. Well,
I behaved that day.
You look debonair as you always do, sir.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Especially with that championship culture design. Like that's just fluid. Look at that thing.
Right.
Brother Brandon, what did you watch this week, sir? Y'all are starting already, bro. We're not gonna make it to the show.
So before I tell you what I watch, I gotta set it up. So you know how I have YouTube TV, and for some reason, like if you watch in the series, it won't go to the next one. It just goes to whatever is next in like your thing to watch. It's a real weird thing that it does. So like I usually fall asleep watching like Bob's Burger or American Dad or something like that.
Sure.
But for some reason, I woke up and it was like fate. I went to the bathroom, came back, and Matt Sydal was coming to the ring. I said, "Oh, he's going to wrestle." And no, I'm sorry. Before it was Roderick Strong and the Kingdom. I was like, "Dang, those are some nice shirts." I said, "Oh, it's just Undisputed." I said, "Well, Tony Khan, great job for being creative. Undisputed, biggest day on their shirts, right?" So it's him and Matt Sydal. I was like, "Oh, I gotta watch this because it's Matt Sydal." And when I tell you, the commentators kept putting over their history, and I realized that's my problem with AEW, that I don't need to hear it. I want to see it. Like it called back to them being roommates, how they grew up in the business together, their time at ROH. I'm like, Tony Khan, you own the library. Why you ain't just play a video package? So the match started going, and I'm like, it made me realize how much Roderick Strong is a great wrestler with no character, and Matt Sydal uses his size in his match because he always using the quickness, like the high knee strikes, and he went for this spinning kick and he got caught. Roderick Strong caught him and threw him right into a backbreaker. I'm like, you don't do stuff like that unless y'all know each other. And it was like their match was so good. It was like if it just had that one thing that Tony Khan's trying to get away from, it would be a great. It was a good match, but it would be great if it just had an entertainment value to it. And when I say entertainment value, stop telling me that they were roommates. And I think Roderick Strong, when did he start doing the lumbar check? Or was that his move first?
That was his move first.
That was his move. Yeah.
I couldn't remember who had it first. I was like, wait a
When-
minute, because
When Cedric
he
got
just-
to WWE first, he started using it.
but Roderick, he never used it as a finisher, did he?
I think he did.
He did. He did.
He didn't use it a lot because he was more of a submission guy. Like he was always, you know what I mean?
I thought he was all about the submission.
Yeah, he like it was his finisher, but it's like, you know, he was one of those guys that he didn't really use it a lot to finish people off. That was like his I'm exhausted, I need one move, it's time to go for the kill. And then, like, you know what I
Right.
mean? And then Jay Lethal kicks out of it. And
So-
they go 72 minutes.
Yeah, I watched that. That was on Collision, and then I also it's crazy because it made the next match made me realize Daniel Bryan doesn't need to wrestle every match. He needs to be a special attraction. He needs to, because like I kept looking at the match like, why do I want to care about this? It
Mhm.
was him and Claudio versus oh my god, why am I drawing a blank now? Eddie Kingston and Santana Ortiz. Which one is the smaller one? I always get them confused.
Mhm.
The
Don't
one
get me
that's
wrong,
rolling with
yeah.
Eddie Kingston there. But it was like, why do I want to care about this match? How many times am I going to see this combination of them happening? And it's on Collision. And it was like, I'm going to forget the match in 2 weeks. I'm going to remember Matt Sydal and Roderick Strong. And I'm like, because Daniel Bryan needs to be in those special matches. Because when I think back to a Daniel Bryan match, I can name them off. But I'm like, I'm not going to remember this. It was nothing special. Why did it have to happen? Like,
Right.
put that man in a bag and let him wait until you're ready to open him up and say, okay, go ahead, this match. You know what I mean? Because he's at that stage in his career where it's like, I don't need to see him on regular TV every day. I need to see him in those matches that you're like, oh, this is Daniel Bryan. We about to go. Like, look where he got Kenny Omega. He's off now because he's injured and everything because he didn't ever to get his body a chance to heal.
Mhm.
So that's what I watched. And it was kind of neat because even with the Trios match and the House of Black, I mean, I'm sorry, not the Trios match. This is the other thing that drove me nuts about AEW. Realized why I stopped watching Collision. Stop promoting everything else while I'm trying to be in the moment in that match. Like, they literally promoted
You
the
advertise
next
a heck
3
of a lot.
weeks. Yeah, but in the match, I'm trying to watch. I'm like, all right, so now I need to care about next week. The graphics at the bottom, the commentators talking about it, and I'm like, it was just too much. I couldn't enjoy it because it was like, oh yeah, and then next week we got this. Oh, see, then this. Oh, no. I'm like, why are you telling me about next Saturday and I got to get to Wednesday first and Friday? You know, and it was like every graphic looked different, so I could tell which show was for. But it was like, you just show me this. You're gonna show me when it's going off. But now I lost track of the match because that's gone. So I tried to give Collision another chance, and it didn't work for me. So it was my favorite show for like 3 weeks, and it had its 3 weeks push, and it's over. It's been over
Okay.
for a while. So
That's sad.
But let me
Yeah,
tell you,
it's
brother, what I
pretty sad.
watched. I watched I went down this rabbit hole of 2006. 2006 was a good year for wrestling for me. I don't know why, it just was. It started off with me looking at Sabu stuff.
Okay.
RVD had posted a match with him and Lance Storm, an older match. And you know, he made the tweet like, "Oh yeah, these kids can work." And I went down this rabbit. Like I like watching old ECW like main events, like the big dogs, you know, Taz and Sabu and RVD and even Rhino to a degree. And I was like, let me look at some Sabu stuff. And I ended up looking at the 2006 match against the Big Show in Madison Square Garden for the ECW Championship. It's kind of unreal that the ECW show was booked. This was before it got all the way off the rails. You know, obviously, I think this time RVD was suspended for speeding while weeding. And and I just remember like 2006 was a really, really good year for me. Like I just became really upset. I was always watching wrestling. Like I got back into it probably like late 2004, 2005. I started like boogieing again. But 2006, it was like, you know, I was completely on it again. But I watched a bunch of stuff from that era, that 2006 era, that I was like, man, this is one of my favorite years for a lot of different reasons. So that's what I got into this week. But so much happened this week. This week was supposed to be about celebrating Royal Rumble, about championship culture starting up. But man, oh man, brother, you talking about somebody, Triple H picking up a shovel. Sheesh. WWE made a few changes. There's a lot of things that's going on, and we have a lot to get to tonight. Like tonight was supposed to be all about the Royal Rumble preview show. Now, I know last week we jumped the gun. We said no, we got to figure out who was going to win the Rumble, and you know we're going to stick to that. We're going to figure out that.
You got your spidey senses. You sensed it. You sensed something was going on.
Bro, I felt it. Like I knew it was coming, And I was like, yo, we jumped the gun, and we'll still talk about the Royal Rumble, the match card. But a lot happened this week. We had to address a number of different things. We were concerned with, wait a minute, let's see what's going on with Seth Rollins. And then we find out, holy crap, Okada leaves New Japan just a few days earlier. What is going on, right? And then not too long after that, we find out Pete Dunne has returned. Like, wait a minute, no more Butch. And then all of a sudden, WWE announces that WWE has officially come to a 10-year, $5 billion agreement with Netflix. We're going to get into all that and more. But let's start with my boy Pete Dunne. You guys happy to see him back? The Bruiserweight. The Bruiserweight is back, ladies and gentlemen. Now you listen, you know I'm happy to see him back. Him and Tyler Bate, they go way back, and they're bitter rivals and a fun tag team. But you guys happy to see Pete Dunne back?
Absolutely.
What about you, Brian H? Are you happy to see Pete Dunne back? You don't talk about Pete Dunne enough.
Yeah, definitely. He was somebody when I saw when they was doing NXT UK, he just caught my attention, had that it factor. And I always felt like he had that kind of like, if Triple H wanted to start a faction of like future superstars or whatever, Pete Dunne would have been it. And I always believed, and still do, that he will be a world champion in WWE.
Really, you think so?
Yeah, it kind of dwindled down, but I don't know. I think that intensity, it was watching him hold that UK title. I felt it meant something.
Yeah, facts.
And I'm like, yo, this guy, he could, man. I know he's smaller, like he's shorter than me, but I'm
Not
like,
sure.
I feel like he can. I feel like he got a chance, and I was like Taquan said, glad to see Pete, but didn't mind Butch. Once he stopped doing some of the once I understood the gimmick more, and I realized that, what, this guy, he's taking what they're giving him.
He changed his fit. Like, remember, once he stopped wearing the shirt and tie in the bowler hat and suspenders, he was kind of Pete Dunne already.
Yep. So I was okay with it,
Yeah. Now you said something interesting, and this I try to move on, and then you always say something. This is what Wrestling Realm folks do. Superior wrestling intellect. We take things to the next level. You said if Triple H were to start a faction, he would start with a guy like Pete Dunne. Now you remember the interesting about Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate is they were in the finals for the first the United Kingdom Championship the first time, and they went with Tyler Bate over Pete Dunne. And Pete Dunne was coming into himself. He had a naked face. He hadn't had that look yet. I felt like when he got that beard, he kind of grizzled up. Do you feel like they made the right decision going with Tyler Bate first and then with Pete Dunne, seeing what Pete Dunne would have done with it afterwards? Do you think he would have had the same kind of reign if they would have went with Pete Dunne first and he had to kind of be the one to set the tone?
Yeah, I don't know. I like the way they did it. You know what I mean? I like the way he did it because I think I got attached to him more when he lost.
Especially the way he lost to Walter. His name is Walter.
Yeah, well, I mean, way he lost the finals. But you're right.
The first time when he lost. Yeah. You felt bad for him, like, oh yeah, you got caught slipping, bro. Tyler Bate. Yeah.
And it's money in the chase.
Sure.
Cody Rhodes fans.
Okay, there you go. We're going to get to that, all that and more. See that? There it is.
Listen, do you feel like that Butch character was really needed?
No, of course not. It's never needed. But Vince McMahon was Vince McMahon. I'm glad they found a way to incorporate him to the main roster. Let me not be ungrateful.
I was about to say that's probably a good idea. I mean, a good transition for him.
It was.
And don't get he was brought up. He was brought up to the main roster with a veteran, Sheamus, put into a nice faction, and he got that spotlight. He got that time to be on the main roster and show what he had. So for him to turn around and find himself, I guess, and come back to Pete Dunne, I think it was a perfect way for them to do it.
Yeah, and to your point, brother, which is an excellent point, you're absolutely right. It's because it's not like the Brawl and Bruce wasn't popular. It was huge. Like, it worked. They were a fun faction. It worked. They were in a lot of major storylines, and it did work. It helped him transition. And like you said, it wasn't like this major blown out story of why he had to change his name back. So, like, remember we first got Walter. He showed up on NXT 2.0, the Crayola box version, and he came out as Walter and said, "I'm no longer Walter. I'm Gunther Starks." Then they realized that was a Nazi first and last name. They said, okay, just be Gunther. They said Walter was it was this dramatic story behind why he had to change his name versus, like you said, brother, he just had to find himself. Rich Holland's like, I'm done with this. James had been out. Rich showed up at NXT because he's hungry. And then, like I said, Tyler Bates shows up and had to kind of remind him of who he was. And now, we kind of got this smooth transition into Pete Dunne. So he's probably one of the fewer guys that have had a transition that was kind of smooth. So I agree with you, brother. What about you, brother Brandon? You miss Pete Dunne? You happy that he's back?
Oh, remember, I was a NXT UK fan.
You were.
Because a lot of people don't realize Tyler Bate won that title at 19.
He was young.
19 years old.
He sure was.
And he's 20. He's 27 now. So Pete Dunne is 30. So 6 years ago,
wow,
they were the young people. And remember, Tyler Bate, he kind of had that upbringing like Finn Balor. He did so much in a short amount of time because he had championships everywhere. But in those 6 years, people forget that Tyler Bate had a tag team partner. He went back and got the NXT UK belt back again. He's a two-time NXT UK champion, but he also held both sets of tag team belts, the UK and the NXT. But the Pete Dunne thing, I don't know if you pay attention. When Tyler Bate first came and Pete Dunne came out, the crowd was like, okay, here he comes. But it just felt different. It hit different. When that music hit, it was like a up. I always say it, Triple H said, nope, make it metal. We're going to make it a little bit more metal. And his music got an upgrade. He came out with the burgundy, with the animal around his neck, or whatever that vest thing is that he wears. And it was just like he wrestled a whole different style. Like he had been giving us shades of Pete Dunne, but we got full-on bruiserweight. Not just Pete, we got the bruiserweight back. And I thought I wanted Gunther versus Ilyanov, but now I feel like I need Pete Dunne versus Gunther.
I
feel like I need that. I feel like, because remember when he didn't back down from Walter when he came, because Pete Dunne had just defended his title against, oh God, who did he defend it against? And Walter made his debut in NXT UK, and he didn't back down. And remember at the time, everybody backed down from Walter in the independent scene. It was like, I'm not fighting him.
Big deal.
It was like, no, I'm not. It's who? And he came with so much pomp and circumstance, and he took the belt from him, and it was just like, well, even if you take out the COVID time, he still held it for a ridiculous amount of time and defended it. So I'm happy that he's back. I hope that with this surgeon of tag teams, post Mania, whatever, we just need to split them up, because you can keep having tag teams, but 6 weeks, 6 months from now, are we going to still care that those two are a tag team?
No,
because why are they a tag team?
Yeah, this is just like two buddies, like a real
No. I was really excited to see that because remember, it was like a month ago, somebody said he's going through an identity crisis. I said, we about to get Pete Dunne back.
There you go.
Yeah, you did.
As soon as he said, I said, we getting him back. And I'm happy because what you call ain't gonna be around forever. The U.S. champion. So he's making Triple H has made all these main level players, but now he's starting to build his second tier. So you clearly can tell, okay, they could be a world champion, but we still can put them in this and they not lose any steam, and you still care about them.
And Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate are both on SmackDown, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, Tyler Bate is there. They never officially said it, right?
Sure.
Did they officially say he was on SmackDown?
I think that's what they're doing.
No, Tyler Bate. That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm talking about.
Because Melo been on SmackDown a lot too, but they never really officially said he's on SmackDown.
Sure.
Because Dragon Lee. They said he's a SmackDown superstar.
Yeah. You about to go against Oba Femi.
Oba, me.
And what's one? They about to at the next pay-per-view, right? Well, Premium Live event.
Sure.
That ought to be interesting.
Interesting enough about NXT. Let's take a trip one more time back to my favorite place, to Japan. Konnichiwa. Watashi wa duenaran desu. Yoroshiku onegaishimasu. You little Japanese for you. Okada leads New Japan Pro Wrestling. Who could have saw this coming?
Man, bring him home. Bring him to WWE.
Does he show up in WWE, and how does he show up? I'm not asking for storylines because there's plenty of time for that, and we have so much to get to. but we talked about this a while ago. A few weeks ago, Okada potentially leaving and where we would like to see him show up. Gentlemen, do we finally see the Rainmaker show up in the WWE? We're not talking about AEW knows in TNA because he actually has another spot to do in TNA. And to me, it seems like from from the quote that I read, Okada said he wants to be able to not be boring. And I'm paraphrasing. He said he doesn't want to be boring. He wants to use the window that he has to do the most of what he can do. And he feels like there's not much left for him to do in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Do you guys agree with that statement?
Yes,
I do.
100%. 100%.
To me, there's only one place for him to be. WWE, right? Can we pretty much agree on that?
Yes.
100%. I agree with you.
How do you guys feel about?
He's done AEW and he wasn't taken as he made it because it was him and Daniel Bryan. But remember, the year prior, it was like, oh, who's this Okada guy? Why should I care? He wasn't presented in the manner he is when he was in New Japan. So WWE, and when I saw that report about NXT, that's not a bad idea if they're about to do a global expansion. He'd be the face of the NXT brand somewhere else and still be able to do Raw and SmackDown as a free agent to give us these matches. So I hope he comes to WWE.
What do you think about that, brother Hugh? The rumors about him potentially showing up in NXT first. Some people were against it. Some people were like, no, he's too big of a superstar. But I know we feel that way, but it's like, it kind of wouldn't hurt either. What's your 2 cents on Kazuchika Okada?
Well, before you answer, Hugh, remember I said I wouldn't mind it if it's part of that global expansion, not on the regular everyday show of NXT, but if he's the face that's going to be New Japan, NXT Japan, New Japan, Australia, he's going to be that person.
Fair enough. It's because, first of all, they're loading up on Japanese superstars. Like, this is the most I've seen and one taking in, and it's like, I think we're getting more. But, brother, what's your 2 cents on Okada potentially showing up in WWE?
Well, if he shows up at NXT, I feel like they're going to give him the Shinsuke treatment. They're going to put him down there for a little while, let him get his feet wet, and also let the crowd or the universe get used to him. Because I'm pretty sure a lot of the universe probably hasn't interacted or seen him wrestle for the most part, since it's New Japan and whatnot. So to come over here, let him get some time with the universe, let them interact with each other, and then just bring him on up to the main roster, because he's too big for NXT, to be honest, to be down there forever. He should have a short stint, show up, go straight to the main roster, cause havoc. That's it, straight up.
Cause havoc. You say cause havoc.
Cause havoc.
What are you thinking, Brian Nitch? How do you feel about Okada showing up in WWE, and also with just taking into account what Brother Hugh and Brother Brand have kind of said about Okada, and what it could potentially mean for WWE's expansion into Japan with this new deal they have going forward, and just all of the potential matchups you get? Do you think it's a good idea that he shows up in NXT, or would you rather see him show up the day after Wrestle Mania? Well, that might be a little too far out, but in some type of way where he's featured in a higher role, or rather to just say, hey, why don't you go start from the beginning and take our time introducing him to this side of the professional wrestling space, and then going from there.
What's it like over as far as Japan and Australia? What's their like? So you know how like the Von Erichs were really big in Israel.
He's it
in Australia. They boom.
He's global.
So you think him showing up? Do you think the Australia show is that big of a deal from the show or two?
Yeah,
yes,
because
they haven't seen him.
They haven't seen him, and you give them something special along with you. You're going to give them Rhea. She's on the poster.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't she probably the only Australian person
that's left? Oh,
well, yeah, kind of.
Is she the only one left?
The big dog.
Yeah. So you bring in Okada there. I'm gonna go out on a limb.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's something with Cody and Shinsuke. They have this big grudge match or something, and he interferes, and somebody's causing some chaos.
Bronson Reed is from Australia. Look, Bronson Reed is from Australia.
Oh yeah, Big Bronson.
Yeah, Bronson is. Yeah.
He's part of the Australia, like
And
close to New Zealand.
Andy Hartwell's from there.
Yep.
I
Oh, so they
forgot
got a
about
handful
him.
then.
Yeah, but yeah, you bring him over there. He interferes, and him and Shinsuke just wreak havoc until they get in their collision course.
Yeah,
I think it'd be good for the brand.
I think they have to revisit Shinsuke and Okada to the American audience.
Yes.
I think
Yes.
who better than to help him adjust to this style? I don't think he's gonna have a problem at all. But who better to help him adjust than Shinsuke Nakamura's been in WWE for years since he left New Japan. And look at all the success he's having. He's the biggest star in Japanese wrestling now when he was the number 2 behind
Yep.
Tanahashi. And he literally jumped over Tanahashi the minute he went to the big stage. And like he's only second to like Great Muta and Asuka and those that, like I said, that had that chance on the big stage. I feel like Okada he wants that as well. Like the Great Muta is everyone knows who that is. If you didn't know anybody that was a Japanese wrestler, you knew of him in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, he spent a lot of time in WCW.
And that's when we first got familiar with. That's how we found out about the IWGP Championship, because like randomly Scott Norton would be wearing it to the ring. I'm like, what is he wearing? They're like, oh, he's the IWGP champion in New Japan Pro Wrestling. First time I heard about it. And of course, you knew about All Japan Pro Wrestling. Those are the two companies you always heard of. So yeah, it doesn't surprise me that Okada would love to have that same opportunity to just be a global superstar, especially while he's kind of young still. So yeah.
I just want to see those matchups, man.
Yeah, and
him, like him and AJ. Woo. Him and Finn.
That's the thing right there. Because we didn't seen them all in AEW.
Right.
I mean, that's the thing.
And the thing, he's had his chance with AEW, and kind of like he got a redemption arc going in TNA right now, but that's because he was a different person in his career. So he's a whole. I don't want to say he's a big draw now because he is, but for him not to come to WWE would be crazy on a. Yeah, because he go to AEW, it's going to be not. It'll be like Jay White. You're like, oh, he's there, but okay, Will Ospreay, he's there.
I was very disappointed in Jay White.
Well,
all you had to do was wait, 2 more months? Literally.
Not even 2 months. Was it like a week?
Bro, he signed like, what was it, like the next day? Like Vince has that horrible Monday Night Raw after Mania.
Oh,
I swear I thought you was frozen.
No.
Vince has a horrible Raw after Mania. And then Jay White was like, nah, baby, I'm going over here. And then a couple weeks later, Vince is out.
Pissed me off.
Facts.
No, that was just one of those things. But Monday Night Raw, and we saw a lot of things, and we're going to get into some more of those things before we kind of get into the meat potatoes of tonight's goddamn show and the Royal Rumble preview show that we have. I hate to make it seem like it's on the back burner, but I'm gonna tell you something that shocked me. Bam! The promo between these two guys, CM Punk and Cody Rhodes. What in the world? First of all, were any of you expecting this exchange to happen between CM Punk and Cody Rhodes? Now, I knew something was up. It's because they kept announcing it. I'm like, okay, so what? But they was like, oh, CM Punk and Cody Rhodes come face to face. And I was like, okay, I looked at it as two Rumble competitors, vying for space, two guys that once again, everybody has this proverbial story to finish. We finished ours. But I'm like, okay, let's see what's going on. Brothers, did you guys see this coming? Because everybody in the world all said the same thing. They said, oh my gosh, this brought me to my feet. It gave me chills. It really, really, really pulled me in. I think this by itself kind of sold the Royal Rumble. What do you guys think?
Bro, let me tell you. This has so many. When I saw this, first of all, I'm like watching this, and I was like, oh, that's a nice backup plan for WrestleMania Night 1. But I go to Wrestling Realm on Twitter, and I just see fire tweets, believe coming from the real Dwayne Allen. And the thing that was said best, or if you said this in the group chat, I believe you said this on Twitter, but it was a promo master class in the name of Dustin. And I was like, woof.
But that's what it was.
It was one of those things. It was like, okay, a heavyweight bout you hit, I'm gonna hit harder, and then I'm gonna hit harder. But it was like we seen CM Punk on this level, right? We've
Mhm.
been waiting in WWE eyes, right? We was waiting for Cody to get there.
There
He
you go.
wasn't gonna be there before. Now it's like, okay, he's there. And man, look, this is everything. Look, book it. I'm interested to see how the Rumble goes, but yeah. And they'll say right, Dusty would have been smirking. Watch this, baby. So yeah, I loved it.
Brother Hugh, Brother Brandon, 2 cents. What do you guys think about this exchange between CM Punk and Cody Rhodes?
I liked it. I enjoyed it. Being that number one, I don't like CM Punk that much, but but
I
overall,
think around Brother
just the
Bread in a
exchange.
long time.
That's probably it. The exchange was just, it was amazing. Like I actually got excited, got goosebumps listening to them go back and forth on the mic.
Mm-hmm.
Pause. But
Just help, bro.
yeah, I'm a clown. I'm a clown. You know this already.
I'm glad you know.
Yeah. I accept it. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just gotta roll with the punches, you know. But yeah, I loved it. I loved it. It was a great segment. It was the best segment of the night for sure. Wasn't expecting them to come out to the ring and then actually. I expected them to just come out and be like, oh yeah, I'm in the Royal Rumble. I'm gonna win it.
Mm-hmm.
Not dig as deep as they did. You can tell like
Mm.
it wasn't 100% scripted for sure. You can
Yeah.
tell Papa Ace was probably like, look here, you two, you're professionals, you're vets. Here's the mic. Do what you do best. And that's what they did. They delivered.
No,
So I
that
love that
I
segment.
was, bro, I was blown away. First of all, I was excited to see both of these. I said it when I saw CM Punk. I'm like, he looks like he's getting back to his brand of CM Punk, slick back
Yeah, you
hair.
did say that.
He's putting meat on his bones, which is good. And I was like, okay, here we go. And it's like, I mean, this is, and of course, everybody's got jokes. They're talking about like, these are two former AEW guys. Like now they're like, no, you guys don't know how to use these guys. This is how it's done. And to see what they did, like I said, and I meant what I said, it was promo masterclass. Like I said, in the name of Dusty Rhodes, and I meant every last bit
Hmm.
of it. Brother Brandon, your 2 cents, sir.
So I'm gonna just say this about it. It's crazy that Cody has shown us that he can talk and he can talk with the best. I
Mm-hmm.
think this was the first time that they were not. When I say, well, let me take it. The first time Cody was not scripted. It was, here's the points we want you to hit, because if you notice, he took a step back and to think about it. And when CM Punk pulled it out of him when he said, "I'm actually the American Dream," and you could tell it was like, okay, yep, all right, now I got to get
You
him.
want to go
And
there?
when
Cool.
Yeah.
he came back and said, "I'm more CM Punk than you," when he said, "I did everything that you talked about, so I'm
Wow.
actually more CM Punk than you," and I was like, they both threw. They both put it out there like if this would have been AEW and they would have said, "Oh, they got into a fight," we would all have believed it,
Sure.
because they definitely was grounded in some real life stuff. But I didn't know that, and I don't know if it's true or not, that they were friends on that level, or that
Yeah.
Dusty told him, watch out for when he said, "I didn't see you as that. I saw you as," and I was like, "Oh, okay, that's actually pretty cool." You know what I mean? Like he actually did give him a chance. So, but I was impressed that this got TV time. If this is how we're going to protect Punk until he gets in the ring, cool. If this is how we're going to protect Cody, so that way he don't blow out his other chest muscle, cool. However,
Wow.
we got to protect him. Do whatever we got to do, because I don't want another adversity, and we got an issue going into
That's crazy.
another um, PLE. So if this is what we got to do, okay, cool. But this is back to the point of Triple H does. I have so many stars that I can interchange in this spot, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, whatever I need to
Mhm.
be,
Yeah.
and he
Yeah.
keeps proving it, and he just keeps proving it. That it's like, oh, and I would say it again, and it's still leaving Brock Lesnar in the background for a Rumble. You still got all these other
Oh
factors
Drew.
that you
shit.
haven't even touched.
Yeah. Don't sleep on Drew.
And if you think, I hate to say it, what if Paul Heyman helped write this promo? Because that had elements of Paul Heyman realness to it.
I don't
You know
think
what I
either
mean?
one of
Like,
them needed any help from Paul.
I think Paul Heyman scratched him a little bit and said, why don't you say this? Why don't you call it? Wasn't your father an electrician? That makes you the American dream.
That does
I can
kind of
see Paul
when
Heyman.
you say it like that.
I
That's
was like,
creepy as hell.
Paul. I mean, think about it. If you listen to anytime Paul Heyman talks, he knows how to get under somebody's skin, and he knows
Mhm.
how to call it. So
And guess what Cody and CM Punk heard in their ears.
No, baby, that's for somebody else. We're just gonna keep you right where you're at right now.
Mhm. It was the sequel to Cody's last promo. When
Yeah.
you really thought about it, it was a sequel. When I first saw it, I said, "This is a sequel to his last promo he did at AEW." And
Yeah.
it was good. It was
No, yeah. It's I think anytime you get something that heartfelt, you know what I mean, it can't go wrong. But like I said, people were impressed with just that match by itself. Like, yo, this could be a main event caliber match. And I think like I said, man, with Triple H in the mix, man, everything, you just never know what's going on. Shout out to William Regal, also back on WWE TV. We saw he's the new he's reprising his role as the general manager of NXT. So
he
shout
put
out to William
over
Regal. He's back.
Ava Rain. You start the day off with the Wayne Johnson. On Tuesday, you end it with Simone Johnson. She
Got a
got her
lot going on.
confidence. Huh?
Yeah, you can tell, can't you?
Man, like this is like the in-ring stuff will come. You feel
Sure.
me? I know, like last year, I remember watching her match. NXT. Sorry, well, takeover or the Wrestle Mania, and everybody was like, they was just talking about the way she looked in a good way, but her wrestling in a bad way. I'm like, bro, like it'll come, but she has a character that you can easily see her like she has that confidence.
Sure. Yeah.
Brandon may remember she was giving me the vibes Jessie K had a Lady Rough Just when she was the GM at MCW, and Jessie was the number one heel. She might not have been booked like it, but when she was in power, she was the number one heel for that company. And Ava, even when the pull apart happened, doing the contract signing, she just like stepped up like, nah, y'all calm down. And it's like it's believable. And you notice one thing about all the GMs, they all can wrestle. I mean, they all jacked. They know more. You're not gonna push them over, I should say.
Sure.
Now, Adam Pearce plays the role because that's what he does. Plays a stressed out role, but
that something's always on fire.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
everybody
yeah.
know Adam Pearce can hold his own.
This
And
old
Nick
scrap
Aldis,
iron.
Nick Aldis out here making. Y'all know how I feel. My boy got to put some hands on him because he out here a little too big for his britches. But Simone bigger than most of the roster.
Well, you hear what Adam Pearce said about Nick Aldis? He's like, Nick Aldis probably so in the mirror looking at himself. I said, oh wow, we got some pretty boy jokes. Jeez, that's a little scrap iron.
But he don't have to look at his wife. He has something pretty to look at.
Yeah, that's true.
That's actually true. Mickey James has always been absolutely gorgeous. Shout out to Mickey James.
Yeah, she just that WWE stink was that stalker gimmick that lasted too long. Like it overshadowed her to the point you had to like look at her in TNA and then look at her second run.
She was
it
always
that Mickey
bad.
James too.
That
It worse. It was booked in. It was the beginning of the career, then it was like, dang, when she left, and then when she came back, you're like, okay, we're okay with this.
Yeah.
I'm trying not to look at people's wives. So between Mickey James, Bianca Belair, I'm trying to just focus, and it's not working. It's not doing it for me. In the midst
that
too,
trailer,
Maurice,
didn't you?
sweet Lord. Oh my God.
How many times?
you guys, some lucky bastards. But no, but yeah, all that being said, man, like I said, you would think that this will be enough for us to wrap up the show, but it's not. It's because we have a few more nuggets to get into. The Royal Rumble preview, it's going to be rather short. As of right now, there's 4 matches. There's the Women's Rumble, there's the Men's Rumble, there's the United States Championship with Logan Paul, and there is the Fatal 4-Way for the undisputed WWE Universal Heavyweight Champion of the Galaxy and the Universe.
That's all you need.
Yeah, and like I said, we're gonna get into that detail in a few minutes, but we just have a few more things to wrap up this week because, like I said, it was a crazy week, and we appreciate all the fans who are joining us and everything you guys are saying in the chat. But as we get closer to the show, Seth Rollins, we all originally turned into Raw to figure out what was going on with this man. You know, he had such a phenomenal title defense against Jinder Mahal last week. They kind of restored the character of Jinder Mahal a little bit. Like I feel like that whole situation was just for him. And we saw, as Seth Rollins said in the ring, there was a moonsault. He felt something in his knee go into work, and there were rumors was that he tore his MCL, partially torn meniscus, and he will be out for a few months and most likely miss out on the Rumble and WrestleMania. We were waiting to hear him say he was going to relinquish the titles, but instead, Seth Rollins came out there, and he said everything that was true. Yes, I do have a partially torn meniscus. Yes, I don't know if he said a grade 2 tear in his MCL. And he was greeted by the man Gunther and Imperium, and Gunther made it very clear to him, like, listen, it's a shame that you won't be able to defend your title. It's because once again, I plan on winning the Royal Rumble and challenging for that championship, and I'm going to carry both of these titles. And Seth Rollins made it very clear to him, like, no, I don't think you didn't let me finish. Although I do have these injuries, I will be at WrestleMania. I will be walking out of WrestleMania as champion. So I was like, wait a minute. So he's not going to relinquish the titles. Is this a good idea or was it a bad idea? Seth Rollins has had an amazing run, and he missed WrestleMania one time already with a serious knee injury, almost at the height of his game when things were going where they want him to go. You guys think this is a smart move, Brother Hugh? You think this is the best thing for Seth Rollins' career to push his way to WrestleMania? Like Brother Brandon said, like, well, he has 11 weeks until WrestleMania. Do you think this is a good idea for him to push himself to that point and try to walk into WrestleMania and be prepared for that match as well as trying to defend it?
Well, as far as doctors and trainers, he supposedly has the best of the best around him. So, I mean, if
Well,
they feel
yeah,
like
that's
he can
true.
do it, then why not? Go ahead and push for it.
Would you be okay if Dolph Ziggler did it?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, I just want to.
Absolutely. It's WrestleMania season. You gotta think the big checks is right around the corner.
There you
So
go.
it's like he has to make it, and especially with all of this going on, all these new superstars and old superstars coming back and whatnot. Like he's just too many different
He probably
storylines and
can't afford too much
options.
time off.
Yeah, your spot is on the line basically. You can be replaced. So yeah, you might as well keep that title. Try to keep the title. Stay there as long as possible. They can play him off of TV for a while he go ahead and rehab and whatnot, and possibly get a main event spot at WrestleMania.
Is this the right move, Brother Brandon? Now we have two kind of non-existent world champions. It's one thing that Roman kind of has a part-time schedule, but it looks like Seth is probably going to have that same type of schedule since he really can't do anything for the foreseeable future as he tries to prepare himself for the biggest show of the year. How do you think this is going to work out for WWE with Seth Rollins kind of being injured and kind of rehabbing his way for all the way into WrestleMania? So now we have kind of two part-time champions. Well, we have like 1.5.
Yeah, I think that's why he came out and said, "No, here's the rumors. Let me dispel the rumor. Here's the facts." Because he's going to get the sympathy card and the hero's welcome when he comes back to defend the title. And if he loses, it's going to be, oh, he lost because of his injury. It's going to be,
That's true. It's not going to hurt him.
yeah. So either way, this is going to protect him because he had the knee brace on. Who's to say we won't still see him up until Mania? He's probably going to be sitting ringside at the Royal Rumble, waiting to see what's going to happen. He could be at Elimination Chamber, sitting there, waiting to see what's going to happen, to see what's about. We don't know what's going to happen, but I think that's why they had to cut that promo to say, okay, let's play this up, because at least if we know, okay, it's fine, go ahead. We want you to heal because we want that match at Mania. So I just hope that he heals, and he should have dropped it to Shinsuke, and he could have healed his back and his knee at the same time. But that's a different conversation.
I don't see.
That's a
You
different
got Okada
conversation.
coming in. Brian, what's your 2 cents? What do you think about this? Do you think this is a smart move for Seth Rollins to try to truck it all the way till WrestleMania and decide to rehab, forego surgery, and try to sit there and walk into this match and actually have a match at WrestleMania?
I promise you, I don't mean no harm what I'm about to say.
Oh, here he goes.
But Sometimes you just have to focus on what you're doing and stop worrying about what's going on in somebody else's house. Kept talking, and he kept talking about Roman and Roman's part-time schedule. And he's a fighting champion. And now it almost came and cost him his match because he's pushing. In a sense, sometimes it did feel like no reason. I understand he had back injuries in the MCL, was he dodged a bullet, and it was based on impact, but it all runs together. The human body is a delicate thing. And it's like afterwards, I kind of believe I could see Seth Rollins taking on a lighter schedule after this, even after he comes back. Man, he gonna spend time with his baby girl. She gonna doll him up. They gonna play doll babies, and he gonna realize, like, man, so this why Roman stay home. Roman
Can he handle that? What if Rebecca is like
gets
the man again?
over?
He's
Oh,
got
cause
to stay home with the baby.
Cause it's coming, bro. She got a whole audio book coming out.
So you saying it's
I mean,
inevitable?
that's an audio book. She got a book. Yes, Becky about to go on another. She's gonna hit.
She's having another
run after WrestleMania, in my opinion.
Okay.
She's already a big superstar, but she about to go to another level. Mick Foley, of all people, he is. If you listen to like a lot of wrestling or read a lot of wrestling books, Mankind, Mick Foley is like the tippity top.
Of course,
the
yeah.
best
He's the champagne of it all. He's the standard.
I believe he has his degree. I know him and Jericho talk in their books about studying journalism, but I believe they might actually have their degrees in journalism.
I know Jericho does.
Yeah, and he said this is the most important book of like the last 10 years. Yo, she about to be a bestseller.
Yeah, there's no and you've been talking about this. You mentioned it last week, and you talked about it, and I keep forgetting. But it's like, you know what?
And
I don't know,
so
buddy.
it's like, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, Seth, like, bro, I get it, but like, even what he's doing, like, he's doing beyond Bret Hart. Like, remember, as I'm playing Hogan winning the title again. Bret retrained the audience and how they should look at a WWE champion.
Of course, facts.
But the way things was, it was different back then because of the style. Seth wrestles a more brutal style, for lack of better words. Yeah, very aggressive. So I just hope that I think he comes. I think it's going to be very interesting. That's the reason why I think that Punk and Cody promo was put in place, because I'm pretty sure y'all saw the SI reports. I'm sorry, but if it would have came from anybody else, as somebody who spent
they just laid off all the humans at your place of your organization. Like, don't give me none of your artificial intelligence. Put all these keywords in a machine and see what you can come up with.
Bingo. I'm like, yo, I'm not believing that. First of all, like, why in the world would they even tell us that?
And who is there to make that decision if everybody just got laid off?
Right.
Something to think about. That's all I'm saying.
And granted, I know they can feed the dirt sheets just to see what the conversation is, but like, come on now.
I think that Triple H does.
So, but I do believe I can see, you can easily pivot. Boom. It wasn't always about the WWE Championship. It was the World Championship, whatever Cody gonna say, and boom, him and Punk night 2. Night 1 of WrestleMania. If Seth Rollins don't come back, and it sucks because I believe Seth Rollins deserves. I'll be honest with you, as far as somebody who kind of like earned or deserved, if you want to say that, maybe more than Roman, just because he's put in so much work.
Sure,
he hasn't lost to Roman. He's been doing everything. Granted, Roman earned it. Roman is like somebody who earned it for all the stuff that he did in the late 2010s. He's reaping a lot of those benefits now.
Sure.
But Rollins been putting in that work, and it just sucks that, like, yo, you might not even be able to. And it was me and Justin was talking about WrestleMania 32 earlier. Like, that was supposed to be his WrestleMania.
It was in Dallas, right? Jerry's World. First time.
It would have probably been him and Roman, because they was trying to get Roman over.
Yeah.
And that would have been full circle because he took the belt took his opportunity essentially with the heist of the century. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's definitely a tough subject. I don't want him to make it worse. I don't want him to
Right.
force himself into Mania and then have to take 6 months off when they probably would have only taken 3 months. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, they got the best doctors in the world, and I'm sure he's going to train forever. I don't even know what that looks like as far as a timeline for rehab instead of surgery, let alone to be healthy. But then you talk about wrestling, like putting on an actual match.
Is it worth it though?
We'll see. That's
You said something key. 6 months, like miss a WrestleMania, but you out 3 months, or wrestle at WrestleMania and then be out for the rest of the half of the year or a year.
Yeah, he would rather think about it. You would rather have that one payoff
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
because it's not guaranteed next year you're gonna be able to get it.
in that
And
moment.
everything's lining up for him to be at Mania. This
Mm-hmm.
is finally because how many years did he have a marquee match at Mania, but wasn't the main event? He was putting in like you said, he put in all the work.
Yeah,
This is his year. Like if he don't, and I don't want to tell him what to do with his body. If it was up to me, I would
Mhm.
risk wrestling at Mania, even if I get injured during the match, and take the rest of the year off. As long as it's not an injury I can't return from. But
sure.
no, if I got to get healed and miss 3 months and then come back for what's right after is it Backlash next or they got another
Yeah,
pay-per-view?
Backlash in France.
Yeah, if I'm gonna come back in France, that's not Mania. You know what I mean? That's like saying, oh,
I
I don't know. I
mean,
just
yeah, I don't know. It's tough. Yeah.
Mhm.
We'll see. We'll put a pin in that. It's because we got to get down to some big business. Like I said, we're running a little bit over. We got to get ready to wrap this up, man. But
Our truth, baby. Let's go.
bro, first of all, I'm trying to figure out sidebar, and this is
who's
probably
Tom and
before I
Nick?
shouldn't have said it. I'm trying to figure out how the heck our truth misses almost a half a year and some change from a broken leg, comes back, and he's like more popular now than ever. I didn't see him on so many radio shows. I mean, I've seen him on so many shows, podcasts. I don't know how he had like the number one selling t-shirts for like a weekend. I was like, bro, he's doing more now than he ever did.
Just a
Like
nice person.
we just talked about Seth Rollins, and it's how fearful it is for a superstar or a professional wrestler to lose their spot and come back after extended period of time. He comes back and he's more over now than dang near he ever was. It's ridiculous.
Because of
Mhm.
And
Tom and
he's a
Nick.
crucial
I mean Dom and Nick.
Tom and Nick, and he's a crucial part of the show now. It's kind of like Sami Zayn in the bloodline. Like it was meant to serve one purpose, but then it turned into a life of his own. I
He
feel like
said
that's what happened with our truth.
he said the difference is they get along.
Yeah, that's the crazy part. He's like, man, I gotta
He's
go
like,
there for Tom and Nick. The first time I heard that promo, I didn't know what he was talking about. And I was like, oh, I get it, Dominic. Oh, I'm an idiot. I was like, you got to be kidding me. But shout out to our truth and his Judgment Day stuff. He humanized Damian Priest. Damian Priest can no longer be a full bad guy because he's almost laughing in every other segment with freaking our truth.
It's hurting his briefcase run.
Yeah, it's who knows what's gonna happen to him. He's another one. But like I said, we got to wrap this show up. We're gonna get down to the big business as to why we kind of came here in the first place. The news that rocked the world.
No pun intended.
Yeah, like it started off with an announcement, right? TKO Sports had made the announcement that Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson had officially been granted full rights to his name, The Rock. The Rock, first of all, shout out to The Rock who came back with a vengeance because they canceled his show. They canceled Young Rock. The XFL took a hit financially, lost like $64 million or whatever it was. And I was like, so he's got to come back to being a Rock now. He's like the Dwayne Johnson is down a little bit, right? He's got to make his way back.
You definitely said that.
And him and his ex-wife, who are excellent, they're best friends and business partners as well, because that's who she runs all his
Is
business.
that Ava's mother?
Yes, Danny Garcia.
Did you see it?
Yeah, it
looks-
just dawned on me in this moment. That's her mother.
She looks like both of them together, which is what children are, a mix of the parents.
You said what?
She looks like a
You said
mix
what?
of both of them.
Oh no, I thought you said so. Yeah, you're right.
She has Danny Garcia's nose. She has The Rock's forehead. I was like, bro, and she's like, I'm telling you, she looks like both of them. And so The Rock's not playing any games. He's coming back with the vengeance. he has been named officially to the board of directors at TKO Sports.
That's
Is
why
his name
Triple H
Ari
gave up his
Emanuel?
spot.
That's in charge of Endeavor. Is it Ari Emanuel? Is that who it is? Or was that somebody
Ari
else?
Manuel.
Okay, so Ari Emanuel, like I said, they
He used to be
people
the Rock's agent.
people hold him as a legendary businessman because if you look up what Endeavor Sports has like acquired over the years, you're talking about a global takeover. And the fact, and I think he's a wrestling fan. I don't know if he's a businessman and a wrestling fan, but he's a wrestling fan. And it was big news as it was that The Rock, like, so now he can, he can trademark The Rock. He can do what he wants to do with The Rock. He don't have to be like in certain situations and have to give WWE credit. It's because now they're all under one umbrella and they're one family. You guys see Vince McMahon with that pitch black hair he had in that photo. He needs to cut it out.
Wait, he was in
He
the
shaved his
photo?
yeah, he
He was
shaved
in the
his
photo, like
mustache.
when they made the announcement what they were on Wall Street. He was there. He was on the other side of The Rock with Ari Emanuel because he's not the guy in charge anymore. So we're watching it, and then this blockbuster deal comes along, and this is the focus of our segment. Good for business, bad for business. Raw is coming to Netflix
snap.
January 2025. Like, wait a goddamn minute. What is going on here? Is this an end of an era of what we are used to? Like, we knew Vince McMahon wanted to make it back from his suspension or his untimely retirement in his eyes. It's because they were trying to negotiate the next TV deal. And I remember they saying that the NBC deal right now they have is worth upwards of $250 million, I think maybe a year or something like that. And it has been reported that Netflix and WWE have come to a 10-year, $5 billion deal with the opportunity to sign for 5 more or 10 more or something like that. Commercial free. So there's no need for advertisers or commercials.
No, it is commercials. They clarified that it's
So
a
they
different
did.
tier pay. Yeah, different tiers that you have to pay for. Kind of
Okay,
like how
so
Peacock
there's a
is.
paywall. So there's a
Yeah.
paywall. Okay. Like there's a premium, I should say. Fair enough. But still, brothers, we were there for the Monday Night Wars. The television has been the lifeblood of successful professional wrestling ever. If your territory had a TV deal, it was a big deal. If you don't believe me, why the heck did Vince McMahon go buying territories? It's because he wanted those TV deals, those TV rights, so he can run the All American Wrestling show. Because he had his show on one channel, but then he had the show on TBS before Ted Turner bought it back, and that became eventually World Championship Wrestling, the actual show.
Yep.
Right now, we're walking into an era where it's like we know that streaming services are the future. The way we consume TV is not the same anymore. But I ask you, and I'm asking you first, Brother Hugh, is this the end of an era as far as professional wrestling and television is concerned? Like, is this the new wave? Like, the WWE is always first at a lot of things, and this is what. And I said this last night while we were finishing up Championship. I said this is what Vince McMahon was talking about when he said that WWE had hit a wall. We had hit a ceiling when it comes to business, as far as expansion, as far as what they were trying to do, as far as continuing for the brand to grow. He felt like they couldn't grow it anymore from the perspective that they were. But now with TKO Sports, Endeavor, and all these new business partners, they have negotiated a blockbuster deal that is going to make the WWE lots of money. Not to mention, they said that means they'll also be putting original programming on there as far as documentaries, so on and so forth, as well on Netflix. But is this an end of an era for professional wrestling and TV deals, Brother Hugh?
It's the beginning of the end of an era. Yes, it is.
That's a
Like
good
you
way of
said,
putting it.
yeah, like you said, with the technology and everything that we have now, cable and just TV in general is just played out.
It's
Everybody
almost
has a streaming
non-existent.
service.
Yeah.
Yeah. So brother Brandon said this to me off the air. He said, as far as expansion, this is probably the best deal for them because you always have access to it. You can look at it on your phone. You can look at it wherever on an iPad, wherever, whatever. And I know you can do that with certain like stations or whatnot, but it's just more prominent with Netflix or just streaming with streaming stations. So I mean, it's best for business right now, especially since they're making a major push to expand globally in the wrestling industry or as a sports entertainment mogul right now anyway. So like it just makes sense.
And every goddamn body is Netflix, and they literally said it's going to be everywhere in
Everybody.
Asia, in the UK, in Canada, and they're going to be adding pieces around. So you're talking about being in, maybe they said like I forgot what the number was about the number of homes you can be in through USA cable television, Mid Atlantic, Pacific. You know, you take the central time, the times into consideration, right? Now being in almost, they said almost like 250 million,
I was going to
like
say 260 million.
like 260 million like houses a night now. And it's like it almost doubles or triples that audience, and it is so unreal because it's like, yo, this is insane. It's because now you're talking about putting presumably live television broadcasts on Netflix, and it's like, and somebody was saying like, now if I'm out, I don't have to go run to a TV or
No.
you know, sign into my direct TV app or Comcast to find the channels, because everybody has Netflix everywhere on their phones, computers, whatever the case may be. It's almost kind of it's almost like
Bro, that's users. That's
like
not eyeballs.
yeah.
Like
No, that's
that brings 520. Let's just say 2 people. That's
Mhm.
500 million users.
that's insane.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. That
And
is
you think
crazy.
about like the global like, you know, people are clamoring around the world for WWE. Like somebody in Canada said, I pay an extra like $25 to
Yeah.
what's the company that does it, something sports in Canada, like they're just to watch Raw.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And they was like, shoot,
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to now because I have a Netflix subscription. And I'm just like, man, all those countries that have been trying to get Raw and stuff, because you know they get WWE content, but they get it. That's it's not the actual product; it's just content, right?
Yeah.
Now they have access to the actual shows. You know, they're in those homes. We talking about. Listen to me. You talking about the first ones to crack China. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
this is
Right.
this is absolutely insane. Like I'm at a standstill, brother Brandon. What do you think about this 10-year, $5 billion deal between Netflix and WWE? Like something that's just shattering. Something I'm gonna tell you right now. I remember there were rumors about it being on Amazon Prime. So that's dumb. Why would they put it on a streaming service? But here we are. Netflix is making a comeback. It's because you remember when Netflix was Netflix, everything was on Netflix. And I meant that
That is true.
statement until all the other TV companies and media conglomerates goes, wait a minute, we got the blueprint. We can do this ourselves. And everybody started pulling their stuff off Netflix and making their own streaming services. And then we had all these multiple streaming services that we pay for because, hey, we want our stuff, so we pay for it. And then Netflix is like, okay, cool. They started buying up movies and putting them as original Netflix movies and buying up new content. And they still have the shows that
Buying up old shows that got canceled and said, we're going to continue your show. Come here and watch it.
like, you know, I want them to bring Young Rock to Netflix. I'm just gonna leave it at that. And
Yep,
then now
that's what I was going to say.
I've been petitioning for it. And then now they're like, listen, we about to make comeback of the year. We're going to take professional wrestling. It's not even WWE anymore. WWE is just considered professional wrestling, and we're going to put it on our platform. Are you kidding me?
And here's the thing,
Brandon.
It's gonna pioneer the movement. Yeah. No, go ahead.
I was just say this real quick.
Mhm.
Remember 1998?
Mhm.
WWE needed a jolt. They called Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson needed a jolt. They was beneficial to each other.
Yeah.
It's just like this with Netflix. Like you said, Vince McMahon said they hit a standstill.
Yeah.
Netflix, you know, it's been like one of the things I'm like, do I really need this? Okay, the kids watch it. But I ain't really watching nothing, you know, stuff I can. Now I'm there's no way I'm getting rid of Netflix.
Sure.
You
There's
know,
no way in the world.
Right.
and so it's again 2 entities that's like codependent. Like we doing okay, but now together we're gonna go crazy. I'm excited.
And you know, not to mention, like I said, I'm curious. Like one of the things we watched before, what we missed about the network was the original content they used to put out. And it's like everybody's like, yo, I don't know what that means as far as that is concerned, but the fact, like you said, that they're the newest tag team champions. And
they tried that with a prototype. They tried that with that Chris Rock stand up in Baltimore.
Okay,
no, that was live.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's true. That and they said that. They said they've done a couple of live things,
How
but
about
guess
that?
what though? Like I'm assuming that once the show's over, you can go back and watch it again. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Right.
Or like, and you say, okay, well, what's the blueprint for this realness? Easy. Endeavor just signed a deal with TNA. Endeavor is TKO Sports. They're now in charge of Impact, what's called TNA Plus now.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking? Are you going where I think you're going?
I
I
listen
need
to
that
me.
to happen. I need that to happen.
I
'Cause I
think
have a dilemma right now.
I'm
Go ahead.
feeling
Yeah, 'cause
some type of
Dolphy's over
network
there.
possibly coming back,
Mm.
right? Like we had the network and we didn't watch live Raws. They gave us a bunch of content, right? Now Endeavor decides, they just signed a deal with TNA to do TNA Plus because they used to have the Global Wrestling Network. That was what was the assets of Global Force Wrestling and eventually turned into was right the TNA stuff. Like
Right.
and like I said, we have Honor Club, which houses the Ring of Honor stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, now we sitting on Endeavor striking a deal with TNA. Now TNA's got some money going to them. I'm like, wait a minute, what are you guys doing over here? Anytime you're dealing with Endeavor, you're dealing with big money. Let's just make that very, very clear.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And now Endeavor's in bed with Netflix, one of the biggest, you know, like the biggest conglomerates together. And it's like I can only imagine what is coming next. There's a few questions that I have when it comes to this, but I want to hear Brother Brady. What's your take on this? This is insane. Usually I'm supposed to be saying, is this good for
Man.
business or bad for business? But it's kind of obvious what kind of business it
Brother
is.
Brandon's playlist, he about to try to make me watch all that stuff.
He's going to. That's what he does.
It's right there on your For You section, Brian. It's right there after Raw go off.
And that's what I was going to say because down, it's going to be easy accessible. Everybody's going to be able to get it. But if you look how Netflix does things, top 10 things, they have different sections. You know, why wouldn't they have, like Peacock made its own tab that says WWE.
Mhm.
So they have the capabilities for it. Are we leaving Peacock? Where this is just Monday Night Raw. Are the PLE still going to be on Peacock? Because I hope that I can go back and say, let me watch Monday Night Raw from September 15th, 1999. You know what I mean? You can go back and I can just say, all right, watch the next episode, next episode, next episode. And then it say, are you still watching? You know, you can literally just have this on now. But here's my only question.
Mhm.
It seems like WWE is strategically doing things to get in front of different type of people.
It's the takeover.
Yeah, so you got Peacock for your PLE.
Mhm.
I'm gonna pay that $10 for that PLE all day. I don't care what happens.
Sure.
T-Mobile gonna keep giving me my Netflix, so as long as I keep my T-Mobile bill up, I'm gonna have that.
Oh
But
shit!
then-
God, they definitely got partnerships with these other brands.
You see where I'm going, right?
Yeah.
WWE has a deal with Credit One, who, if you glance too hard, it looks like Capital One.
Mm-hmm.
They are going after all these different people in different ways. Look at the cell phone company they with. Who did Bianca Belair do the commercials for?
Freaking
Cricket
wireless.
Wireless. So you're reaching these different people for different reasons. And if you ever notice what they're doing, they're trying to make sure that I'm going to get somebody, but I'm
From
going to
every
get
audience.
everybody. No, but
Yeah.
I'm going to get everybody. In some way, shape, or form, I guarantee you when after this Netflix deal 2025, by 2026, you know how the thing that I hate when people say, oh, I watch wrestling. I used to watch Junkyard Dog and Ric Flair. Woo! They're gonna say, what's the deal with this Bianca Belair? Who's this Rhea Ripley woman I keep seeing everywhere? Because it's going to be all in your face.
It's definitely gonna pop up. Like you're
You
gonna pull those old people like, oh, look what we put on old wrestling. Oh, wait a minute now.
Wait a minute, hold on. When did Rhea Ripley have blonde hair? Oh, sit down. Let me show you her rise to power because they have a special about Mommy's Always on Top. Here, watch this on Netflix. You know, or better yet, Peacock. Oh, you want to just watch all of her PLE matches? Here you go. I can show you what she did in Saudi Arabia, and she's about to do it next week. But you never know. It seems like they're doing all of these things strategically to make sure they don't miss anybody, but everybody has a chance because here's the other part. It's a reason that WWE has not left USA Network. Of all the networks that they could have went to, and they're not saying. But here's the kicker. Y'all missing one vital point. They're
Mhm.
not saying what day it started. They said
Bro,
Raw will be moving to Netflix,
that's what I was about to say
SmackDown
next.
USA, NXT CW Network.
Right.
2025.
They not saying
2025.
no days of the week. Tony Khan better pray that SmackDown does not air on Wednesday.
Do you think
You know what I'm
Triple H
saying?
would do something
I
like
think
that?
that's October 1st, right? That's what I heard.
That's for NXT, right?
That's for SmackDown.
Is
I think
SmackDown
it's
Yeah.
NXT?
October 1st. I think
And
Nick Khan said it was
for
October 1st.
now, it's going to be
Right, for
still on
now.
Mondays. That's how Raw
Oh,
is.
for now.
For now, Raw still going to be on Mondays.
Right, but remember, it just says Raw is going to Netflix.
I was about to say the
WWE
same.
Raw.
It definitely did say.
So
2025.
Yeah.
I'm nervous that it's about to be a huge shakeup because remember Nick Khan said it. Why do we keep competing with football? Why can't we just move Monday Night Raw to something else? Why we gotta keep competing with it? We can't overtake the audience because at the end of the day, if you got a choice between football or Monday Night Raw, you gonna watch football, watch Raw whenever you get a chance.
And he's
Sure.
not in the
That
wrestling
football,
bubble.
uh,
And he's not in the wrestling bubble.
yeah, and he's thinking about it from a fan. He understands that wrestling fans are football fans too, but football fans ain't wrestling fans. So if I'm losing my fans to another thing, why keep letting them? Why keep forcing them? Because think about a Monday Night Raw attendance doing football. Does Brian Waters go to the Raw or does he go to football or does he take his kids? No, I'm saying, but no, to follow my logic, right? He's a season ticket holder,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
Raw's in town and he wants to take his kid. Now I'm forcing him to choose. Where I can say, nope, go to your football because it's Tuesday. You can watch Raw on Tuesday or Wednesday, whatever it may be. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't need to interfere with that.
And Seth Rollins can watch football instead of
And
walking through the locker room.
no, I
and
can
looking at his
send.
phone.
No, I can send
Well,
my
yeah.
locker room to these games on Monday night because I can send a Bianca Belair to a WNBA game on a Thursday if she only got work on Tuesday. I can send Cody Rhodes to the Jaguars game on Monday night.
Oh wow.
He said the Jaguars. Wow.
I mean, why not? I mean, it's probably the best thing they could have did because they definitely said you think of wrestling, you think of Monday Night Raw before you think about SmackDown. You think about SmackDown now,
Mhm.
but I'm gonna tell you this: in October or whenever they move SmackDown, Cody Rhodes will be on SmackDown.
Can I ask your
SmackDown,
brother a
man.
question? Can I ask your brothers an important question?
So what did you
Everything.
say?
Who
What
was
did you
that?
say, Brian? No, he said
No,
something.
I was just saying a joke. SmackDown, man.
Oh,
Yeah, he's
No,
gonna be on
no.
SmackDown.
the
He's
crazy
going to
part is,
be. USA
yeah,
gonna
come
say
on
no,
now.
no, we gotta keep Cody.
We know what
Y'all
that's
taking
about.
out Raw from give me keep Cody on there. He's our guy.
It's because we know that The Rock is not here to sit at the head of the table. He's sitting at a different table. He's sitting at the board of directors. And I think they kind of gave that away. So people kind of got back on the Cody train once they kind of yeah. But with that being said, the $1 million question for us is now: are you brothers ready to let go of wrestling on Monday nights?
No.
No.
Before we, like I said, look, brother, Hugh looked stressed out as soon as I said that, and Brian, like, that's exactly why I said it. It's because it's like, okay, we've made it very clear. It's good for business, right?
Bro, we over
Okay, it makes
30,
sense.
bro.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's like, when you look at it like from a sentimental perspective, this is all that we know. And it's
All I
like,
know.
well, sure, it's good for business, but like, this is an end of an era. Are we ready to let go of wrestling on Monday nights? This is all that we've known. This is where majority of our favorite moments have happened. You know, all the ground shattering returns after WrestleMania, all these things that are important moments for us, right? So it's like, hey, are we ready to let go of Monday nights?
You think about it like this, right? Mondays have been appointment viewing television for us. Give or take, whether you're into wrestling or not. Mostly when you're into wrestling, you realize like you hate when Sunday nights come because it's like, man, I gotta go to school tomorrow, I gotta go to work tomorrow. But Mondays was also always that ice cream, that pacifier. It was okay. You know what I mean? I probably spend every week at some point in time mentioning a time when me and brother Hugh was talking wrestling the next day in school, you know. or brother Brandon come in and say, "Hey, did you see Raw last night?" You know what I mean? Or me and Dwayne, some of them talking, and all of a sudden the Closet Wrestler fans come out. That stuff happens on Tuesdays. It made Tuesdays made you look forward to Tuesday, especially if you work a job and you got friends. Like I remember, shout out to Steve Brayman, digital vice president for WWE, when he was my manager at ESPN. Tuesdays was the days going, yo, you see Raw last night, yada yada yada. You know, I remember he the one put me onto Justin's page, the Wrestling Classic Justin. Shout out to him. So letting go of Raw, it's too many. Yeah, I might legit cry. I ain't gonna lie.
I don't
I
know,
ain't ready
man.
to let it go.
I think it might be coming because the fact they like Brother Brandon said, they never said Monday Night Raw is going to Netflix. They just said WWE Raw.
Yeah, you know what? Nick Khan, he's got Vince syndrome in the sense of he has that mindset, and yes, you do have to have it in that type of business. You
Sure.
don't know what you want until I give it to you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, a lot of times we could say, you know, wrestling fans complain about XYZ, but then it's like, nope, you don't know what you want until I show you what you want.
Like we didn't know we wanted PLEs on Saturday until we got them. I
Talk
was
about
like,
it.
this was who thought that you would be saying this Saturday, I gotta do everything I need to do because I need to get home and watch it. Because remember the Sunday night pay-per-views that last until 11:30, 12 o'clock, you like, oh my god, I gotta work tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you was excited about, and I'm gonna give you this tidbit about the day of the week. Most people know I worked in retail for 20 plus years, right?
Oh, yep.
And you loved it.
People don't know
He did.
when you give them that option, that's what they're gonna do. So if I say the store closes at 11, you're gonna shop till 10:59.
Of course. Yeah.
If I tell you the store closed at 1 o'clock in the morning, you're gonna shop till 12:59. So
Yeah.
And
if I say the store closed,
24/7 Walmart.
yeah, right. So when we start closing, when we went from 1 o'clock to 11, yeah, we lost a few dollars the first week. But when people start realizing, oh, I don't have till 12:59 to shop, I got till 10:59. Guess what they did? They figured out how to get there by 10:59. So, and I'm saying that to say, when people, we've been conditioned for Monday Night Raw, and the thing is, like, if Vince was putting his best work in when he had competition, those are those moments, right?
Sure.
Triple H is putting his best in just about every week, with or without any competition. Imagine, remember when he had NXT, right? He was his own competition. He himself. It was on the network. It was like, wow, I want to see this. If we move today, I think the conversations now evolve from, because like in my college days, I remember being irritated. It was like, when the SmackDown come on? I thought it was Thursday. Now it's Tuesday. Now it's Friday. You know what I mean? It was like I was irritated because like remember for what a few years it kept changing. It went from UPN to this. I was like, when is SmackDown? You know what? I got class on Thursday. I can't watch it anyway. I got class on Tuesday. I can't. Oh, this is dumb. We got Monday and Tuesday. You know, and we didn't know that now that it's settled on Friday. And remember, it was SmackDown Live for a long time. I was like, this is crazy. Why are we doing a show on Friday? But look what we're doing.
I remember that.
So I hate to say it, it's gonna shift something in us, and especially if it's on Netflix, and we know that it's gonna broadcast on and I'm just gonna say Tuesday, for example. Let's say it's every Tuesday. Monday, you know, you can do whatever. You just had a conversation on Wednesday versus Tuesday.
Taquan really dropped the gym with all the networks though.
Yeah, but that's how wasn't it for like a short. And I remember being in college, I'm like, when the Smack, and I didn't watch SmackDown for a while because Smallville came on the same time as SmackDown.
I remember
and
that.
I had to watch Smallville.
You and my friend Trika, y'all in that Smallville.
Small. Who? You want a rabbit hole?
Wow.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good.
So my question is, what does this mean for competitors to WWE? I can't really call them competition because it's not really competition, but you know, you have TNA that I'm assuming is presumably looking for a new TV deal. At some point, maybe you look AEW. What does AEW do? How does this affect them as far as them trying to compete with WWE and trying to, you know, grab their piece of the audience? You know what I mean?
They better hope to get the max.
Hey,
That's their only saving grace at this point.
Mm-hmm.
You said who?
That's their
Max.
only saving grace. HBO Max.
I mean, so why does AEW? Why should AEW have to follow? In this, do you think they have? Is this a new precedent for a competition where they got to keep up now, where you got to have a TV deal and you got to have streaming service to keep up? Because
I'm gonna tell you
obviously,
why. This is why. If
Mhm.
I can only find you on cable TV, and I got rid of my cable because I can watch Raw
Oh
on
shoot, yeah, people are doing that
Netflix,
these days.
right? Or if I
Yeah.
know I got it for free through Verizon, T-Mobile, whatever, and I only got this one network because that's what I got, I'm not gonna pay $14, whatever it may be, when I know what I need is there. You ain't doing enough to make me want to pay for it anyway. I'm not about to go get a
Mhm.
whole cable package or YouTube TV or do whatever I need to get that when I'm gonna be like, oh, cut that. I'm good over here. Especially if
Yep.
Peacock comes with my phone company
Sure,
and I got Netflix through, I'm good.
Peacock gave us a bait and switch at one point because the network was free at one, and then
It
all of a
sure
sudden there was
did.
a paywall up. I was like, oh, you bastards! That's what they do on the streets with the crackheads. They give them testers, and then once you get hooked on it, now you don't mind paying
Right.
because they done got you hooked on the stuff. And I'm like, oh, see,
So remember when the network came, the whole thing was $10 for WrestleMania. The WWE
right?
network. That was their whole campaign. And it was like
Yeah, when they
you were
first came out,
crazy not to
$9.99.
for WrestleMania.
Mhm.
It was WrestleMania was $9. And we grew up in the $50, $60 era of
Right.
WrestleMania.
And they
The
gave you a 6-month free trial.
Oh yeah,
If
they
I'm
Yeah,
not
did at first.
mistaken.
They did.
Yeah.
That was it was like you pay
Mhm.
it was $9 for like first 6 months. You just had to pay that was it a sign up fee or something?
Might have been.
Yeah, because they said WrestleMania was free.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. $9.99.
Yeah, that was a bit. They even had gift cards. Excuse me. They even had gift cards and
Mhm.
stuff they were selling at like Kmart and Target and stuff like that. But
I miss
honestly,
that.
I don't know what this means. It's obviously good for business. I don't know what this means for competition. I don't know how they're going to try to counteract this. But when it comes to, I don't know. I can only imagine how Tony Khan probably feels right now, seeing all these kind of things kind of come together and why he's trying to compete with WWE and trying to do his own thing for AEW and man, I'm sure he's I don't know. What do you guys think Tony Khan is trying to figure out now at this point from a business perspective?
Man, look, he done lost his mind.
Right.
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
I'm serious. I'm not going to sit back and take this fucking shit.
Now, back to our show.
You got a lot more money than Crockett's.
No, it's but listen, I don't think Tony Khan wants to go toe to toe with TKO Sports right now, especially with The Rock. The Rock is I'm sure The Rock is fully prepared to handle Tony
Yo,
Khan.
you got The Rock and Triple H on the same team, bro.
Yeah, like it's
Like, just think about these two nemesis are on the same team. That's
it's
not
crazy.
fair.
No, it's crazy.
We're
So in
still
other words,
in their back pocket.
yeah, like that's like Triple H runs the show and like The Rock is on the board. So
Mhm.
like the inmates truly
So
running the
Triple H
asylum.
runs the company.
If
If you really think about it, he really does. He runs. Nick Khan just there to make sure the dollars is coming flowing through.
that's all he's
And
worried
take the
about.
blame.
So in other words, Tony Khan, what The Rock is trying to tell you pretty much is
Shut up, bitch!
well, there you have it. Ladies and gentlemen,
I don't know what got into you tonight, but keep it up.
it's these guys. They messed up. It was yesterday. They thought that they
I
messed up
apologize.
Triple Day, but
You're right.
It was all
can you
his.
believe it? We're actually coming to an end now. So I think we all can agree that this is all great for business.
Mhm.
Such a monumental event, such a monumental blockbuster deal. And any adjective you want to add to it, as far as WWE's partnership with Netflix, starting in 2025, man, we got a year and some change left for good old fashioned cable television. And after this, everything changes. I think a lot of people are going to try to sign with WWE now, especially knowing who will have access to them, which is every goddamn body. And
Notice I got a question for you before you kick off that screen.
mhm.
Why do you think they announced it a year in advance?
they're up to something. I don't know what that something is, but it's very intentional, right? If you think about this week, they did something similar when they first announced that WWE was going public as far as trading was concerned. It was no longer going to be a privately owned company. They were going to bring on shareholders. And so you look at this week, they make the announcement that The Rock is joining the board of directors. Ari Mays, obviously a wrestling fan. They give The Rock his full trademark. They launched the United Football League is about to launch. NFL's coming to an end. And then all of a sudden, the Royal Rumble's coming up. There's so many things, and then Triple H goes, "Oh, we're only halfway through." I'm like, "What do you mean you're only halfway through?" I don't know what they're doing, but there's a reason why they're kind of making all this push. Like back in the day, we used to be like, the excuse was, "Well, it's sweeps week. This is the week where all the ratings come in. This is the week where you this is the week." I forgot what he used to call a week, but it's like it used to be week in television where you like line up all your advertisers to kind of sell the products for the year. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I don't know what the version of that is now today in 2024, but I feel like it may have something to do with that. Honestly, I don't know. Anybody have any other
No, I
thoughts,
mean,
ideas,
yeah,
concerns?
sweeps month is February, but you still load up in January because now you about to put on a bigger product. These storytelling, going into the Rumble, we just a few weeks from February. The storytelling going on the road to WrestleMania about to go crazy.
True. Yeah, we got it's about to get crazy.
I bet you
It's
Triple H is going to sleep. And like Vince and Randy only slept 1 hour. Triple H probably sleep for 8 hours a day.
right. No, I don't know. There's a lot going on right now, and man, we finally got through it. We're burning past the midnight oil, but it's time to wrap up this show. But I think we all can agree this is definitely good for business. Royal Rumble is this week as of this recording. This is who do you guys having winning? Logan Paul or Kevin Owens for the United States Championship?
Paul.
Logan
I
Paul.
definitely got Kevin Owens winning. Brother Hugh.
Logan Paul.
Really? You guys are. What about you, Brother Brandon?
Logan Paul.
Logan Paul's a part-timer. Why do you think he's going to keep holding on to that title? Kevin Owens wins.
LA
It
Knight
makes
has
sense
to
for the
face him at
title.
Mania.
Mm,
That makes sense for the title.
yeah, but we got too much time before Mania, and Triple H has got his pin out. So who knows what they got up their sleeve?
Yeah.
But
Right.
WrestleMania, as of right now, 4 matches. It's different. It's I expect to see a lot of storytelling in both Rumble matches. I'm looking forward to it. You guys will be there. Brian H, Brother Hugh. Enjoy yourselves. Have a blast. Enjoy. I know you guys will be working, but have some fun in the process. Me and Brother Brandon will be watching from the trenches. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of communication through the phones, the tweets, through all that kind of stuff. It's going to be fun. I'll have my championship belt intel. I'm sure you guys will too. But
Please go live for this. I need
no,
to see a reaction
it
for the
depends what
winner.
happens. If Cody
I need
wins,
to
I'm
see a
going live.
reaction. I need you to go live when it cuts down to the last two.
Okay.
Can you
Well,
do that? Can you do that for us?
I might, but every time I go live, nobody watches. So I feel like I'm like, it doesn't work for me.
I
They watch
watch
it
it.
post.
You said what?
No, he took it down. Remember, he took the video down.
Oh, I was
No,
gonna say they
like-
watch the post.
I didn't know how to save it. Like I kept I exited out and just got rid of the whole video.
Oh yeah, you gotta let them know you want to save it once you when you start.
Yeah, I figured it out after the fact, but yeah.
Oh, I
that
thought
was-
you deleted it because of your reaction.
No, like I was trying to close out, but I didn't save it though. But
Somebody said on TikTok, man, WWE about to go crazy because now they don't have the ratings limit. So
yeah,
you can literally put
Oh,
what
I
you
definitely
want.
you don't. Oh,
Nope.
yeah,
Yeah.
You know what you're doing.
please. I hate it.
they're like completely free now, so
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's
not
that's
ratings
insane.
driven, but it's going to be one of the highest stream viewed stuff on the platform anyway.
It's gonna be
regardless,
number
but
one every week. Watch it.
You know it
Yeah,
is,
it is.
especially for that first quick jump. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us on tonight's show. It was an action-packed show. We had a lot to get into. Thank you for sticking with us. But definitely follow us on all our social media platforms at Wrestling Realm. Subscribe to our Patreon, Twitch, and YouTube at The Wrestling Realm. The next time you see us, ladies and gentlemen, it will be after the Rumble. And who knows what the heck we'll be talking about then. We are
The
looking
Ravens
forward
in the
to it.
Super
We want
Bowl.
you to have as much fun. Head over to youtube.com/The Wrestling Realm. Catch up on season 1 of Championship Culture and enjoy the first episode of season 2 of championship culture. So much more to come with that. So much more to come with Patreon. Brian Nature starts. So much going on in the world of professional wrestling. And guess what? Luckily for you all, the Wrestling Realm is here to lead you and guide you through all of those things, twists and turns. And we are here to have fun in the process. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll catch you next week after the Rumble. We'll see you on the who knows. We'll see you when we see you. Peace out. We out of here.
Houston, we have a problem.
Yes!